to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have me, the Z Rhino, and we are looking at a beer. Today's beer is right here in front of me, and we are going to get things going. First and foremost, I'm going to open up the YouTubes so that I can get to this page in case anyone actually watches and talks to me. Then I can be like, hey, here, and here, right? Because it's something you need to be able to do. Next thing I'm going to do is open up Untapped, and then we'll start talking about this beer in front of me. Now, the main reason I'm doing a live stream of the beer is the percentage. This is a 10% alcohol beer, which means I'll probably take just a little bit longer reviewing it because I have not had a beer this percentage in a very long time. I have one person I know that's given this a rating, and it's a 4.10 out of 5, so they paid for Untapped Premium. 2.8 thousand people have given this ratings, and it's overall a 4 out of 5. This is breweries from Abbotsford. The person that's had it is Lee Methot, and he had it in July of 2022. So this is 10% alcohol, and it is a blackberry blueberry dark sour. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about a dark sour at 10% alcohol. Not sure. What do we have? Originally part of our Dark Light series. This dark as dusk sour is back. But what do you mean dark light? 10% alcohol is not light. It's not. Does it have a low? No, it is 10% on here too. That's not a light beer. It's not. I know like Jules will love it. Greg will love it. It's 10% alcohol. It's amazing. But yeah. Drenched in local blueberries and deep purple blackberries, we embrace the changing of the season and the moments the darker days bring with them. Self-reflection, deep conversations, and crackling fires. 6 people have had it this month. Nice. I'm going to be number 7. Now, we'll open up the YouTubes, but because I'm not playing the video, it might not stay up. We might have to keep logging in to see if anyone's here. I've actually liked quite a few Fieldhouse beers, so I'm excited to try this. I'm excited. Oh, that's the color that I was really kind of expecting, and I'm really glad I got, but I'm surprised with that head. Not that the head is that pinkish color, that's not what I'm surprised with. I'm surprised at the fact that there is such a robust head at 10% alcohol by volume. And that is it chill haze or is it just, because this one was in the fridge. I knew there was enough fruit in this that it probably should be refrigerated. But that is a dark beer. Wow. Well, it's not even dark, I guess. It's just a pretty beer. I love the pink hued head. I do. I love that. I don't know, what would I say that is? I guess almost going on a ruby color. But I love the look of that. Like it is great, and it's got a nice haze to it. I'm really excited for that. And a beautiful snap crackle pop, like a snap crackle pop I wouldn't have expected with this beer. Like that is a bright, like it's there. Let's get it all into the glass because we can. Yeah, I know you're down here, Cat. I know. You don't have to keep rubbing up against me. I know you're here. You make the dogs all pissed off because their hips can't take the angle of these stairs. When you're in a 100-year-old house that was never meant for a basement, right? You your stairs are at an angle that stairs probably wouldn't normally be at. And it just makes it so that the animals can't really take it. It's not, I'd say it's probably, ooh, I don't know, 60 degrees? Where, normal stairs are like 45-ish. These are, yeah, these are probably closer to 60. And like I'm in the basement and they're like, it does do the turn, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get down here in 9 steps instead of like 12 or 13 like you would normally do. Sent from the can. Wow. Lots of blueberries. Why do you want up there? Blueberries, blackberries, it's very, very, very apparent that there's fruit to this. Out of the glass? Not really anything, but after you get the whole thing poured, it's no longer like a red. It's now almost a mix of like royal purple and fuchsia. That looks divine. It's kind of close to this color right here. Like it really kind of is. I love the look of this beer. The smell is so, but I don't smell alcohol, and I do get a lot of fruit on it. So I mean, it's good in that way. It's good in the way that it's showing off a fruitiness to it. Cheers, let's try it. Huh. So, I don't know how many beer drinkers that watch this channel. I don't know how many beer drinkers actually watch this channel anymore at all. I don't think there's many. But I don't know how many beer drinkers that watch this channel have ever had like girls' night out or anything like that type of wines, the like 9, 10, 11, 12% alcohol wines that you can get. Well, when they first came out in Canada, you could get them for like $10 a bottle. And they were just very fruity. And this kind of reminds me of that, except it has a much more apparent alcohol burn. And I think that might be the only downgrade of this beer. But unlike other 10% alcohol beers that don't have an alcohol burn, this is not a very, very dangerous beer because you can taste the alcohol. So you know you're not going to want to drink 10 of them in a night. Well, you might want to, but you know you shouldn't. Forefront, beautiful, sweet blueberries. Middle, fading into a tannic blueberry and blackberry seed. Tannic blueberry skin, blackberry seed type of bitterness. Back end, that slightly neutral blackberry flavoring. And then, alcohol warmth. It's not a bad beer. It's not. It's just not. It's not a great beer either. It's not at all in line with some other Fieldhouse brews. It's a solid beer. It really is, but it's not in the same world as some of the stuff you can get from Fieldhouse, which is perfectly okay. I mean, if you want a 10% alcohol sour, this has a little bit of sourness to it, and it's all fruity sour. It tastes like natural sour. It doesn't taste like forced lactobacillus sour or anything like that. I mean, probably what did it, but because of the amount of fruit that is in this, it doesn't taste forced, which is awesome. It burps well. But it does remind me of those wines, because those wines weren't ever just like, hey, this is a Chardonnay or this is a Merlot, or they were always like some type of fruitiness, like here's a peach Bellini or here's a blueberry whatever. Like they were always fruit forward wines, and that's why this reminds me of that, because it's about the same ABV. It's in the same price range as they used to be. I mean, this was like $7, and $7 at 473 versus $10 at 500. Well, what, 650 maybe 650. I know you could get a liter bottles of them too at one point, but my favorite of the girl coolers was always like UFOs, and I don't know how many of you had UFOs, but it tasted just like 7-Up. Or, and I know they have the 7-Up type of cocktails now, the spritzers or whatever they are, and or the wild berry, the 7% alcohol in a liter bottle for like $5.95 at the LCBO when I was younger. Wild berry coolers, I would drink like 15 of those before I really got into beer. And it wasn't so much that I hated the taste of beer, it was more the fact that I could buy bigger volume at higher percent of those things than I could buy of the beer. But I can tell you the hangovers on those, because of all the sugar in them, was horrible. To the point where I could tell you that the hangover on this guy would be horrible as well. I like it though, and I don't like it at the same time. I don't like it because it's 10% alcohol and it has that alcohol burn, but I like it because it's a 10% alcohol sour that is actually drinkable. It was purchased at Urban Cellars on East Quants in Regina, and it's not a bad beer. It's just not. It's not something I could drink a whole bunch of. It's not. It really isn't, and that's perfectly fine. It's just not. It's not something I could do a whole bunch of. Sorry, I was just checking. I didn't see any comments come up, but I was even checking if anyone was watching. It's just me. But I get it. It's late. Why is this phone still on Ontario time when I live in Saskatchewan? That's my question. Out of 10. That's where it gets hard, right? Like, it tastes good, but it's not something I will ever buy again. There's no reason for me to buy it again. I've had it once, and that's the end of my experiment with this beer. I will never have this beer again in my life. So I think out of 10, I think I can't give it higher than a 6.75, and it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just I don't drink 10% alcohol beers really anymore, and I'm getting older. I know that 8 years ago I had fatty liver caused by my diet and the alcohol. I don't drink nearly as much as I used to, so I have been making smarter choices in my life, but I know that I had fatty liver then. I know that even when I was down to like 210 pounds and I was all muscle, I had fatty liver. So I'm not 210 pounds of all muscle now. So I got to be careful with what I do, and that's one of the reasons why I don't drink high ABV beers, and I don't usually buy high ABV beers. But it's a good beer, but it's not a beer I would ever buy again. And I guess that's the best way to put it. Anyway, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I'm not gonna chug that. I will go and slowly drink it as I watch Jim Cornette videos.